Welcome back, everyone. Today we will meet Muthu and his family, Kshitij and Melissa. He's a loving dog, full of joy and full of surprises. His story is one of hardships, grit, perseverance, and love. His transformation is no short of a miracle. So, without further delay, let's go and meet them. Thank you for coming on the channel and sharing about Muthu. So, I'm talking to Kshitij and Melissa. First of all, just before going to his journey and how we got him, just something about him.
You want to start?
Muthu has been a great dog as such. He's beyond our expectations as a dog to consider. Whenever Kshitij and I used to discuss, we want a dog, we want a dog, he used to always be like, Arey, you don't know, there's itna kaam, there's, lot of kaam, tu kuch karegi to hai nahi. And, I used to be like, yeah, okay, fine. But I said at some point in my life, I want a dog. And he has been like a blessing. He doesn't pee, poop at home. So that work is nothing. He's already come trained. Like, we didn't have to do anything. Of course, he has been tortured and trained wherever he has been. Yeah, wherever he was. But here he is like completely trained. Nothing. He doesn't eat furniture. You have dogs eating furniture, shoes, things. Nothing. Like when we came, like literally we are giving him things ki kha le. We are giving him like these carton boxes that come, and we give him like, okay, chalo.
To play with.
Yeah, to play with. He doesn't, like, he'll not come and take anything from you. He'll come, he'll look at your face, check, and then I get receipts or something, Amazon boxes, I'll just give it to him to play.
It's like an auto sense hai
He doesn't, he'll not destroy anything, he doesn't touch anything. For fun, he'll take socks and he'll run over, or he'll just take a cloth, but he'll not destroy that cloth, like it will not tear or anything.
Okay, not like my dog. She destroys.
For me, it's like I had a dog a long time back, but to be honest, that time I was a kid and it was just like every kid who asks for a dog and doesn't take care of him. I was that kid. So then I used to think that I need one dog at least in life who I will take care of and figure out how to manage dogs the right way, which I probably did not do earlier. So when he came, I'm trying to do that.
You personally, as an adult, and for you also, maybe Melissa, he's the first dog.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to have dogs, and I was.
Like for you,
for me it's the first. Yeah.
First unplanned dog.
The perfect one.
Yeah, the perfect one.
The first thought that comes is, what exactly is the story behind it?
Okay.
How it started, how you met him, because that is something that hooked me onto him.
Okay.
More than anything else, and that was in the back of my mind anyway. So I wanted to meet you guys to share this story because it's really beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
So
Thank you.
please share that story with us.
So the story is having a little bit background. The background is what she was saying, that we always thought we'll have a dog after 50. When we don't, after 50, after an age of 50.
So he used to be like, that time we'll have time, and that time we'll have nothing else to do. And plus, we travel a lot also.
Okay.
Like on weekends, we just take the car out.
Okay.
So we were very worried that this guy will be a responsibility, and
Any dog.
Any dog.
We did not with this guy.
Yeah, any dog, for that matter, even kids. So we didn't even have kids because of that, because we like this spontaneity that comes, you just get up and like,
It's your decision, of course.
to go. So then he was like, see, we didn't have kids, now you want a dog, it's going to be the same story and all that.
So I've been always telling her minimum 50.
Yeah, but I don't know, a month or 2 months before we found him, I was continuously getting this thing in my like, Arey Dashin le lete hai na, Arey Dashin le lete hai na.
And this was another thing. So she was always into breeds. And I'd always thought that agar 50 ke baad we'll not pay for a dog.
He was always into adoption.
That was clear that I will always adopt a dog because there are so many and they need help. But she was always, I'll not adopt a breed that I don't want because I don't want bigger ones because I'll not be able to manage.
And everyone has to think this way, that what suits our need, what suits our environment, how do we stay, how long will the dog be home, how big is the dog. You should think
because the energy levels matter, right?
Because it will be disastrous for the pet as well as you.
Correct.
In my case, my grandmother always had a Pomeranian, and that dog used to be a pocket dog. So I had that image in my mind, you know, that always I want a small dog that I can carry with me, and she never took the dog down. Like I've never seen a leash on that dog. Okay, he was a home dog only. Everything he did at home, barely went out of the house, and so I mean that has been in my image, and I never saw much work during that time, like her doing, you know, and I used to be like, okay, so there's not much work to get a dog. I mean, it's not going to be that much. So yeah, so 2 months before we found him, I keep looking at this Instagram reels, okay. So I used to get these Dashin reels, and once you start looking at one type of reel, you keep getting the same thing. So I used to keep getting Dashin reels, and them in their cute sweaters and all. So I used to tell Chittaj, "Arey yaar, it's so small, kahin pe fit ho jayega, you know." Yeah, he'll not.
And I used to say no.
Yeah, he used to still be like, no, you know, small or big, the work is the same, okay. And yeah, then after
So then what happened? I that time I used to have an office in Vilandur, and this is 2021. Towards
just after
mid
the
21.
first wave
Just after
of
the-
yeah.
After the second wave was over. So 2021, after the second wave was just over, and I used to have my office in Vilandur. So one day I was coming back from Vilandur around 6:30. There is a Goshala road. I was coming from there, and there was a small traffic jam there. So I was slowly driving. Then I just saw a dog, a small dog limping, and I think obviously it was him. So I saw him limp, and immediately I called Melissa. देख तुझे Dashin चाहिए and मुझे adopt करना है. I can see a Dashin on the road. Do you want it? She said, "You're lying. Dashins कोई road पे नहीं छोड़ेगा." So then I left him. And I came back, and in fact that time my co-founder, who has had dogs from past 10 years now, he was sitting with me. He said, "Matle, I know you guys, तुम फंस जाओगे." And I said, "देख Melissa को Dashin चाहिए. Let's check. Let me check at least." So I checked with her. Melissa को Dashin चाहिए. So I checked with her, and she said, "Dashin road पे नहीं होगा. तुझे दिख कुछ गलत रहा है. It
Or
must
one
be
of
some."
those indie mixes, you know, that
Some,
you get
which
short.
which she didn't want, because she wanted again lower energy rather than an indie energy. So I said कि चलो, then I'll leave. I left him there. But when I came, I was continuously talking to her, and I was telling that I'm sure it was a Dashin. It was not in the right state. It was limping, but we'll figure out if it is. So this was a Friday.
Okay.
So one more reason I didn't pick him on my own instinct was because Saturday again we were going out for a weekend trip. So Saturday morning we left. Sunday while coming back, I told her, let's go to the same spot. If he's there, let's pick him up. I'll show you first that it's a Dashin. So we went to that spot.
And over the whole weekend, he was talking about the dog only. Okay, I was like, okay, fine, you know, if you get the dog, what are you going to name him? So he immediately said Muthu. And I was like, what? And you know, so, well, what kind of name is it? He's like, no, see, it's so cute for a dog and this. And so we were having such conversations on the way, coming back also from Sakleshpur.
And that Sunday we reached that spot and we searched and he was not there. In fact, there is a small nursery nearby. I asked him, that guy, he said, I have seen him a couple of days back, but I have not seen him today. So we said, chalo, good, someone, if it was a Dashin, someone else would have picked him up, and it's good for the dog. Said it. So then this was a Sunday. Next week, I think it was maybe one of the weekdays, Wednesday or something, I'm going again to the office using the same route, and I saw this guy drinking water from a puddle. And I tried calling her. She didn't pick up the call. I said, I cannot take this decision alone. Let me leave him. I left him there. And this is still not the same week. The next 1 week later. But it was still going on. So I left him there. And then after that, for almost 1.5 weeks, I didn't see him. Then we actually had called a couple of friends over here. And we've been they've been always very close, so we were telling them also about the dog. And they stay again near Sarjapur Road. So I volunteered that let me drop you guys.
No, and there was a statement one of our friends made. Okay, so we told him all the story, and he's like, "Kitni baar dekha?" So he said, "We have said twice. We've already seen him." Like, you know. He said, "Listen, if you see him the third time, it's in your destiny. So So then that kind of stuck in his head. Okay, and they had come for an overnight. So next morning he's all ready to drop them. Otherwise Kshitij hates driving in the city. Like he's waiting to go outside, And he just agreed. I'm like, what is going on? Why is he so enthused to drop them? And they stay in Sarjapur HSR. Yeah. So he was like, we'll drop them. Hum kuch nahi kar rahe. We'll go and drop them. I said, okay, fine. And then he.
So then I told that I'll take you through the route where I had seen the dog, and let's see kya hai. So then we were going, and this guy was on the road sitting on the side, and it was almost 2.5 weeks since we had seen him. I had seen him for the first time, and she also saw him that time.
The first time.
The first time. And I told that, look, it's a Dachshund. Though it's not in the best of the state, but it is a Dachshund. Let's at least, and it's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. Now no one has taken him, and he is not in the right state. Let's figure out how to help him. So I have a friend. She runs this company called, Flow, which is for love of all pets. So she manages a lot of these. She helps a lot of these organizations rescuing and all, and other services also. So I actually called her immediately. I said, Shruti, kya karna hai? I have seen a dog and I think I want to rescue him. She asked me that, do you want to rescue, get him better, foster him and then give him away? I said, no, I want to manage and keep him. And that time I just in a way pushed her that तुझे Dachshund चाहिए, ये adoption है, पैसे दे के नहीं ले रहे, it's a fixed thing. The only difference.
And it was happening in like quick. I was in like, what is happening? Yeah, ये थोड़ा fast जा रहा है,
I tried picking up. He was little anxious, so he was trying to bite. He was unable to. But then I said, let the professionals do it. So I asked her to send a dog ambulance, and I said, "Okay, kitna time lagega?" And all. She said around 40-45 minutes it will take. So either you stay at the spot, or usually these dogs don't go away. You send me a couple of photographs and you send me the location. I'll send my ambulance driver and he'll figure out. So I sent that, and by that time I went to drop my friends. And I asked a couple of people also that kahin ye gaya to let us know. Those who were around. This time we told. And then while we were coming back, the ambulance guy called us कि नहीं दिख रहा है. Okay. And then I got scared कि यार ये तो गलत हो गया. Then I asked कि look around a little bit, and then within 2 minutes he called. Yes, he had gone in a street nearby. I found him. This is his photo. Is this the same guy? I said yes. Then he said, meet me directly at the hospital. So when we went there, and that's when she actually saw that he was in a very, very bad state, because she did not get down from the car when we saw him at the road. First time. So he had major skin issues. He had bite marks on his head and all, and one of his legs doesn't work, but otherwise he is happy. So he was not in the best of states. So immediately the doctors said that we need to take an X-ray and all that. And then they called me in. I said, I don't know this dog. They said, you need to manage him on the table also. So I started holding, and I started, at least calming him down. I was petting him, and while they were taking X-ray, he was shouting and all. But I think that's when the bondage happened. So immediately after we came out of the room, they handed over the dog to us, and I handed over him to her, and I wanted to take a harness for him. So as soon as I went to take a harness, he started crying. मुझे देख के जा मत and all. And that's when I said कि भाई ये तो अब we cannot just foster. We have to keep him. But initial few days were very exciting. I'll come to that.
So that actually was my next question. But that's what I said. It's incredible story. I also didn't hear the story at this length when we discussed just downstairs. It was quite quick, but it was something that you put your mind to, thinking about what you need, what you don't need, because sometimes people just go to the spur of the moment, get some dog, and then they can't handle it.
Right.
So being cautious, being careful about it always is good.
Right.
It's just amazing transformation what you guys have done with it, and he's a fighter, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that in him, how he used to be around the dogs and around the society.
Correct.
In the beginning, and now how he's like, I'm the ruler of this.
Yeah.
Correct. You're right.
That's amazing.
So initial few days excitement has been where he probably was not as much attached to her.
to me.
She was wanting to be attached, but he was not as attached. And I that time used to go home or go to office. He used to work from home.
Okay.
Yeah.
He used to cry and
Yeah, he used to cry a lot. And I used to find it really difficult because, I mean, working from home means you need to be available.
You need to work.
Yeah, you need to work. So, and for him it was really difficult to see him go and this. Then we started trying different tricks where, he goes without looking at him going and all that drama.
Actually,
we
you
did.
started trying them. Because that's right. And
Yeah.
you don't say bye to a dog and
Correct.
get them right up and then move out.
Correct.
That's the worst for them.
Correct.
So naturally you started doing that.
Yeah.
So maybe not talking too much to him and just moving on.
No. So we used to make sure he's inside a room.
Okay, that way as well.
And that's when I run away because if he saw me going, that's when he cried. Otherwise, he was fine.
And because of the backstory, because of his previous life, it would have been very difficult for him because he connected with you, my savior.
Probably, yeah.
So he has that bond with you. So that's why when you were not there, he was not still attached to Melissa at that time.
Yeah,
And
he
this
was.
was first 3 days. Fourth day, he was sitting on the bed with her.
What was the factor that made it easy for you and for him, for the recovery, to do things for him? Because the state that the dog was in, and considering that you both did not have a dog before, adoption was the first, dogs were in a way the first.
Correct.
So everything was starting at a very different and a high level
Yeah.
for you guys,
Correct.
right? So what made you keep going?
So,
I was ready to give up. I was really ready
was
to
too
give
much.
up. Yeah, it was too much for me because he used to go to office and I had to work, and for me, I mean, wherever I work, it's very, crazy. Like you have to be online, you have to be available, at least on phone, you have to be there in the weekdays. Weekend, it's fine. But weekdays, you have to be there. And, taking him in the afternoon also down. Before, he used to go down at least 4 times. I realized his leg was bad. So, you don't know who's going to take him, who's going to keep him happy, this, that. So then I was like, no, I only have to do something now and figure, this thing off. So, yeah.
and this was probably first month.
Yeah, so of course
It
when
will
he...
not be long because
Yeah.
once you start getting used to them and once they reciprocate, right, you can't avoid that.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Even if our dogs, if we send for the daycare or kennel for a few days because we have to take a trip or something, we miss them badly.
Correct.
Yeah.
They become a part of our life so much.
Yeah.
Amazing. That brings me to another point. What does he like the most now that phase has passed? He must be liking something in the house, doing something in the house. The best time of him and outside, what is he like?
So what I believe, and you can change, but he likes when both of us are there, and he likes both of us to be in the same room and he being there. That's what he
all
wants.
my pack together.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
That's what he wants. Even if we are in separate rooms doing separate things, it's very harassing for him because he has to go check if that one is also there. Then after some time he'll go check he's also there. He keeps doing even if he sleeps in the room with him, after some time he'll come. Why is she not there? Then again come check. He keeps checking. So for him it is everyone has to be in one room.
This we realized very recently actually. Very recently we changed houses and we had to travel.
And outside, when you bring him out for a walk, I mean,
So
I know.
what he loves is going in the car.
Okay, so car drives is what drives him.
Yeah. अगर अभी ऐसे कार में जाना है मुत्तू तो अभी नहीं बोला कुछ. नहीं, but if you see once we go down and if we say the word, so then he'll jump around. He
Wow.
loves his car ride.
He loves it.
Yeah. And outside, I feel he loves it more when he's off leash. Like in the building, you can't do that. But when we go to homestays and all, we just let him be.
Somehow, I think off leash is what all dogs want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's natural. So, on this note, because every rescue dog has a backstory and you don't know exactly his age because he has
Yeah.
not been with you for some time.
Yeah.
So, whatever the backstory was, and it must not have been good because of the state he was in for sure. do you feel that there were any issues? Sorry, there are still any issues.
No.
No.
We don't
but
feel.
there was-
There were a lot of issues. Anything that looked like a stick, remotely like a stick, he used to hate and bark at the
That says
person
everything.
carrying. Yeah. So people carrying umbrellas far off, he'll start barking. Our maids carrying broom, he'll start barking.
That was only first 2 days, but once he got used to, okay, she's not going to hit me,
Okay.
she's just
Okay.
going to like clean. Now he just loves them. Then the cook comes, he'll bark, of course, but then he'll just go and sit. And he's a very fast learner. That's also what we liked about
Yeah,
him.
sharp.
Yeah. So if we tell him no going in the kitchen, he used to just sit near this black line. Like he'll not move.
Or not even inside.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So perfect dog for the perfect parents. is what I see that. Because you guys have done also a lot of work on yourself for him.
Yeah.
Change yourself, change
Yeah.
No,
the
so we
things.
actually didn't change the spontaneity. The thing is, obviously,
Yeah.
we changed the places we go to.
Yeah. I mean, we have gone to now pet-friendly places, and we have decided that only places where he's allowed, we'll do on with a road trip. Like of course,
So
if there is a flight that needs to be taken, we can't help it. We have to leave him in a place.
True. Another point, and generally I see these dogs, and something that comes to my mind is super dogs, because they have that super instinct or something else. What do you think if he was a super dog, like a superhuman? What would be the quality that he would have?
I think strong sense of smell is what.
No.
should be.
So I
That's an
probably.
answer.
Yeah, that's a that.
So I think it'll be making friends with anyone.
Yeah, that's also.
That-
right.
that'll be-
superpower.
Yeah, that's a superpower
And
because
I-
that is something that he can do with anyone.
Also, he hates violence. So I mean,
hates
He
violence.
hates violence.
Yeah.
So any violence.
Violence.
Yeah.
Violence. Any kind of
Any
violence.
kind of violence.
In fact, a couple of friends when they used to come, a husband keeping hands on his wife's shoulder, he'll feel
Just
it's
like
violence.
that, just like casually. He used to feel like that guy's choking her or something.
He'll bark.
He
he'll go
barks
at it.
like
And as
crazy.
soon as he
Even
leaves, he'll be going to the guy and calming him down with a wagging tail. Can just-
Yeah.
I mean, violence, stick, and all of that makes complete sense.
Some
Where
history.
he was and how
Some
he plays.
I mean, now we also play, I'll just keep hitting him, and then he comes
See,
barking.
yes.
Yeah.
He'll come
After some
barking.
time, he realizes, oh, these people are playing, then he doesn't charge.
If you have a magic wand and you want to change something for him, what would it be?
That's what
So
she
that
will
was
be.
his leg. His
His
leg,
leg.
yeah, his leg to get better. We did a lot. We went to SNEHA, we got his CT scan done. We asked the doctor if anything can be done. But
No, we've gone
these-
to at least 5-6 doctors only for the leg.
Yeah.
But no, everyone says that nothing can be done. Specifically, the surgeons have told that there is not enough leg only to.
Yeah, because their legs are also small. Yeah, small. So even for them, it's a risky thing. Like for other dogs which are like higher, they have enough space, right? So if there is an issue, they can still work around it. But in this, there was like it's so small and tiny, so they don't even want to try it. They are like, as long as he doesn't have any issue and he runs around, like if he goes out.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
He runs fast.
Yeah, he runs like crazy.
One leg has not stopped him.
Yeah. Yeah, and even with the cat and ball, he just like runs like crazy.
The ball part is my favorite of it. When you throw the ball and the way that he barks and
Yeah,
Correct,
barks
correct,
and
correct.
runs,
Barks and
yeah.
runs,
So I mean, he's been active.
you
So
want that for him.
Yeah.
If anything
like,
was
yeah.
magic, like this.
My worry always is because of the leg, this back shouldn't get a problem because Dachshunds are usually prone to that IVDD issue.
Yeah,
But
that's how
we
it
can't
is.
do it.
And in general, if because you have pet for quite some time now, few years, you have seen the way things are. So anything that you would like for in general the pet life to get better.
I still believe the community is not as accepting, all the people are not accepting as pets, and recent even the government rulings and all. So
Can get better.
yeah, some of the things can get better. There are
things are getting better.
Think
in
there
some
are-
areas,
yeah, there
and,
are.
people are also like BFA and etc.
Correct,
doing
correct.
a hell of a job.
Oh, there are a lot of
And lot of
volunteers.
others. Yeah, a lot of volunteers. That's how I got Zoe and Mini boats
Right.
from some rescues. So I completely agree.
But
there
the
is
problem
a
is
lot of-
these guys, specifically COVID, this all illegal breeding has brought these guys out. So that needs to be minimized so that the people who actually want take, and not just people who want to put another couple of photographs on their Instagram, take dogs and all that. So that's the problem. And then leave it. So that needs to change overall.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much, guys. This was
Yeah.
amazing. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes, it
Sure,
was
sure,
awesome.
sure,
It was
yeah.
not looking like a formal thing.
Yeah.
It is not.
It is not
That's
formal.
the idea. But wanted to know more about him, about you guys. This
Thanks,
was lucky.
thanks.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for accepting
Welcome.
this.
No, thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Thank you.
So Muthu is up now.
Yeah.
अभी
हाँ, baby.
कार में जा रहे हैं क्या Muthu is ready.
If you have enjoyed this story, tell us more in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel for more partnership stories. And if you have a story to tell, check the description for more details. Stay tuned for the next story. Ciao.